What's up, everybody? Welcome back to This or Therapy. I'm your host, Chris Mack. Today, I want to talk about giving in to extreme ideologies. Before we get started, go ahead and like and subscribe. You're already here, so like and subscribe if you haven't, and let's get started. So, when I talk about extreme ideologies, I don't really mean as far as like religions and things of that nature, but I mean like these social ideologies, right? You know, being a Democrat or being a Republican, excuse me. Like these are very extreme ideologies in these days, right? It used to be just a political stance, but now it's like a social political stances, right? Now it's like an everyday life. It's like how you're supposed to live your life. If you don't live your life in this way, it's almost like a religion, you know. If you don't live your life as a Republican or a Democrat, like everything you do has to be, it's like a part of your everyday, your existence. And the thing about it is, it's like you can't give in entirely to ideologies, right? In the sense of political ideologies, right? If we're talking about that, like you can't just live your life entirely like as a Republican or as a Democrat, things of that nature, because you got to be able to see both sides. You got to be able to be open to both sides of the coin, because there is good and bad on both sides, right? There's no other way that you as a Republican can say that everything that Republicans do is on the up and up and it's the right thing and it's for the people and they're moving us forward as a country. There's no way that you can say that. It's just impossible to say that. And there's no way you can say that everything that's happening on the left side is moving the country forward and is in their best interest at heart and is for the benefit of the people. There's just no way of saying that. Because at the end of the day, you have to remember there's an element of it, and that's the human element. And because we are not perfect, how can people who develop this ideology perfect and be moving perfectly within that? Because if we can be corrupt as people, then the ideology itself is inherently potentially corrupted. It's the same thing too when you see the ideology of like, you know, this dichotomy between men versus women that we see in our country right now. I don't really see it anywhere else. It's really the West. I mean, you see it in like London, you see it in like, you know, some parts of Germany a little bit, but like really nowhere else. But there's this dichotomy of like hatred between us where it's like all men are trash or all women are scammers and yada, yada, yada. But it's like, when you give into that, right? When you fill your life with that kind of visceral, like how can you have a complete and full and happy life if you think that everybody that's the opposite of you is the devil, right? Like I saw this meme today of this girl. She said she cut her hair off because some creep told her that he liked her long hair, so she cut it off short. That's absolutely, it's crazy. That's crazy talk. That's crazy talk. So you went to the beauty salon, paid however much money to get your hair cut and layered and stuff like that, just because one guy who you probably won't ever see again said that you have beautiful long hair. That's what happens when you get caught into these ideologies, right? Because especially with like things like TikTok and stuff like that, right? You like a couple of videos, they automatically start feeding you these videos over and over again. And if you listen to one man-hating video, well then you're probably gonna like the next one, and you're probably gonna like the next one, and the next thing you know, every other video that you're watching on TikTok is stuff about men ain't shit, men are trash, you don't need them, independent, fuck all men, things of that nature, right? And so if that's all you're being fed, then you're gonna start thinking about that because you get caught in that echo chamber of this negativity. Same thing on the other side, right? You know, a lot of people come for, you know, the red pill community and stuff like that, but it's like there's only a certain part of the red pill community that's like gone to the extreme to the point where it's almost like a hate group, right? There's a small little section. However, it's the same thing. If you like one of those videos of somebody bashing women, well then TikTok's going to feed you more of that. And then when you get fed more of that and more of that, eventually you're going to get into the mindset of like, all women are bad. They're all just out here to like use and abuse you. They're all sluts. They're all, you know, talking to 15 different dudes at one time. They're, you know, like it's just, you know, there is probably some truth in both sides of that, right? Like there's some men out there who are not good men. There's some women out there who are not good women. But like, if you get into the mindset that everybody's out to get you, well, then everybody's going to be out to get you. That creates this paranoia of everybody's here to take something from you. And then there's no way that we can come together as a people, right? We stay divided, you know? Like if you notice that it's, you know, people shit on religion, but as far as religion goes, you know, yes, there are still places in the world where people are fighting each other because of the opposite of religion and the opposite of beliefs. Yes, there are still places that, but there are also places where people aren't doing that, right? There's like, most of the world is not fighting each other because you're a Muslim and I'm a Christian, or, you know, I'm a Catholic and you're a Buddhist. There's not many places in the world where people are literally at war or like hating each other because of different, you know, beliefs. And that's why you got to be open to things. You got to be open, because when you're so close-minded, you believe in something 100%, you leave no percent for the possibility of something else being an idea, or you're setting yourself up for a failure. You're not letting yourself grow. And the only way that we're going to be able to come together as people is if like we grow together and have an open mind enough to where we could hear somebody else's ideas and it not make us angry, right? That's what we're living in a world right now, where it's like, if you don't think the same thing that I think, then you're attacking me. It's like considered violence against you. And that's just insane, right? That's why we got to get out of these echo chambers every now and then. That's why we got to get out of our own heads every now and then. And we can't be so hard on our ideals, because people change, right? Think about it. The same things that you believed when you were 14 or 15, do you think that you believe in them now? Maybe a few, but all of them? Right? Shit. There's some of the things that I mean, look at some of the movies I watched. I was like, you know, some of the movies I watched when I was 14, I swear to God, they're still the best movies, right? Some of them. But then there are some where it's like, at the time when they came out, I loved them, and then I watched them again, and they're like, oh, this movie actually kind of sucks. Right? So be open to growth and change, because that's the only way that we're going to come together as people. This separation between us right now is kind of what's destroying us, right? Because everybody's so single-minded, everybody's out for themselves, everybody's like worried about who's coming for them. But it's like, instead of worried about who's coming for you, why don't you come together? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. All right, guys, that's it for today's video. It's going to be another short one. I appreciate you guys staying with me. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know in the comments how you feel about this. If you think that I'm, you know, if you feel the same kind of tension that's going on in the world, especially between the sexes. And yeah, we'll talk about it. All right, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. See you on the next one. Peace.